So in your sketchbooks, to envision, find a blank space or a blank page, or you could do this on a spare piece of paper. And what you're going to do is draw what's called implied texture. Implied texture is where it looks like it could feel like it has a texture, but it actually doesn't. So your first example is slimy. So what I might do is I might draw a box and say slimy. And what would it look like if you drew something being slimy? I was thinking maybe some wavy lines. So there's my example of slimy as an implied texture. You also need furry, soft, and prickly, so you might draw your boxes and label them, and then again draw your texture in there. You could even use color if you wanted to. Maybe I would use green for slimy. So try that out before you start the project. So to start our otter, we're going to make an oval, and the size is pretty important. We want it to be kind of a longer oval, a skinnier oval, and we want to make sure we have room for all of the otter's features. So draw lightly so you can erase if you want to. We're going to go just about like that. Then if you go about halfway down your otter and then just jump up a little bit, you're going to go from one side to the other and make a flat smile shape. So I'm going to go down a little bit and up a little bit. And then measuring about 2 fingers, maybe 3. So I'm going to start right about there. Instead of a smile, I'm going to make a flat bump. Above that line, we're going to make the otter's eyes. So I'm going to make some kind of cutesy eyes. I'll start with some circles, and I'm going to put some shines in there. I'm not going to color it in with my pencil because I'm going to color it in with markers. For the nose, I'm going to start in the middle of the top of my bump and go down and up. And then for his mouth, at the bottom of that triangle shape, I'm going to go down and back up. And then the same thing, down and back up. It's like a J and a backwards J. We'll give him some cheeks, curved lines on both sides, and then some whiskers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Otters have little round ears, so up here we'll make a bump. Same on the other side. And then we'll add this curved line here, so they look a little three-dimensional. Now our otter is floating on his back, so I'm going to make his arm and hand. If I keep my fingers right in the middle here, 2 fingers, I'm going to go to my fingers, round off, and come back. Same thing on the other side. Down, around, and come back. Then his feet up, over. They're a little bit wider than the hands. Up, over, back down. We'll put some fingers in there and some toes. And for the belly, I'm going to start here. I'm going to skip over the hands, come around, and I'm skipping over the hands and feet. Back to the other side. Then here's his tail. So kind of a long, skinny tail. We want to add some ripples in the water. So around my otter, kind of wherever you want, I'm going to go little circle, big broken circle. Little circle, big circle, big broken circle. And some of them are going to go off the page, and some of them might run into the otter. But since the otter's either floating or swimming, he's kind of disturbing the water. Which gives us these ripples. So our drawing is finished. So what I need, if you have them, is some crayons and hopefully some markers. If you don't have markers, instead you can just press hard with your crayon for the steps that I do with markers. So I'm going to start with markers. I'm going to outline the otter with black. Okay, so notice I did not outline the ripples in the water with the black, but I did color in the eyes and the nose with my black marker. And I did touch it up with an eraser when I was finished because I had some pencil lines that snuck out. So we're going to keep going with our markers, and what we're going to do now is add some texture to our otter. We're not going to do the mouth part, but anywhere out here, we're going to add some texture fur. Texture is how something feels on your hands, like soft, hard, slimy, sticky. I'm going to change the direction of the marker on the arms. Now I'm making a brown otter. That's a, oh, you know what? I forgot to outline my tail here. Do that with the black. And I'll go back with my brown texture. Okay, so the belly. You can do the belly really whatever color you want. I'm going to go with orange. So I'm going to find myself a good orange marker here. Add my texture. And then for our ripples in the water, I'm going to actually outline those with blue marker. And again, if you don't have markers at home, for all of these steps I'm doing with markers, you can just press hard with the crayon. And then the rest of the picture I'm going to color with crayons. And so if you outline with crayons, color lightly. But since I outlined with markers, I can pretty much color normal. And when I color with the crayons, that texture stands out. For my water, I'm going to use the side of a peeled crayon, and that's going to make it go a little bit faster for me. I just have to be careful not to color the blue over my otter.